It is a breathtaking multimedia event that fuses breakthrough concept with cutting-edge technology, and it became, as it was intended to be, the centerpiece of the Yosu 2012 International Expo in Korea. Please welcome Bernie Zhou, Yuri Hong of BIG, and Jean-Christophe Canizares, whose stage name is Cani. I do, guys.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Yuri Hong. I'm honored to introduce the BIGO show with my partner Bernie Zhou and Kenny from ECA2. Actually, this project was unforgettable memory to me because these two, my boss, always disturb me every night until end of the expo. Even though I had gonna be crazy at the time, we did it successfully. I'm really happy to share our experience, how amazing and miraculous it is, why people like BIGO show and we make it. What is the BIGO show? You can see the reality of BIGO show at this section, and what we learned from this project and what future do we choose. Okay, you can feel a miraculous spectacular from now. Let's go. Over the 8 million people came to here 2012 Yosu Expo during 93 days, and 2,730,000, almost 30% was this spectacle during 92 days. We canceled only one day because of storm, and almost 30,000 was this spectacle for one day. Actually, we operated this spectacle only one time at the early stage, but people required to watch this more and more. Finally, we ran it 3 times. Even though we ran it twice or 3 times from middle stage, people always waited, like this, for 3 hours to watch the only 20-minute spectacle, because that was magnificent and enthusiastic. Yes, it's the BIGO show.
It's the second expo in Korea. The first one is Daejeon, and the last one is Yosu. When the government asked me the whole master plan for the World Expo, the committee had a big concern. The living ocean and coast is very nice theme, but the committee could not find any solution to show this subject effectively. The committee wanted to make the people impression with only 75 exhibitions, but the beautiful sea and the coast was too abstract material to express by itself. Looking back, the history, Expo was the event to boast architecture, the technological, the commercial power all over the world. But nowadays, Expo does not have this kind of advantage due to the fast and development of internet. Okay, Yosu Expo needs the great difference. The many people want to experience the forgettable, the moment, what the people never seen before, what the people never heard before. This is the homework. That is why I propose a BIGO, a show on the open sea, and call ECA2 from France. The ECA2 developed my tender with the big icon on site. The water, the fire is the best material to show our theme. The icon, the DO, has two meanings. The exterior O means the ocean. Interior O is the new feature.
What is Big O Show and how did it come to life? So this was a bit on the client side. I would not take an insight on the producer side. When we answered initially to the process, we wanted to propose something different. We had understood their concern, and we felt that another water show was not really responding to the expectations and was not at the level of what they wanted. So this is what we put together, all these ideas and materials with a strong content, making a multimedia show, but also keeping in mind that this could last and this could be a legacy for the post-Expo plan. So since the beginning, it was supposed to last at least for the 93 days of the Expo, but also to be transformed or adapted easily to become a permanent show. So we came with this principle, and this is a quick sketch on the very early principle of the project. At the end, it was almost looking like this. And this is what we thought was we need to bring some elements. We need to bring strong elements in order to make this a success. And although there is no universal recipe, our recipe for this one was to bring, first of all, an icon. We say, this is an expo, we must attract attention, and the show must be the icon of Yeosu. Also, a good scaling. The expo is quite big, with some important buildings and a big piece of water, because in fact it is in the open sea. So we had to also to work carefully on the scaling. So this is why we ended up with an element which is about 40 meters high, which is 50 meters above the water level. We had to include local flavors, so it's not only to do a nice design and a nice piece of architecture, but we need also to have a content to match with this wonderful construction. And this is where we work closely with our Korean friend to include this local flavor. Of course, piece of architecture, an icon, a story, but of course we needed wow effects, important effects. And of course, since many years now that we play with this kind of elements, we had the water, we had the fire, as Bernie said, but we had also some lasers, some lighting, and it was very, honestly, amusing to spend time preparing this and programming this in order to give this show at the end. And of course, a perennial construction, because the construction was made to resist to typhoons, to earthquake, and it's supposed to live at least 15 years at minimum. Also a part, and I will be speaking about it later in the presentation, ease of operation and ease of maintenance. Also it's a quite complicated piece of work with a lot of equipment together, synchronized. It has to be easy for operations, and this is one of the reasons also we could play 2 times or 3 times every day. And ease of maintenance is a permanent installation, outdoor, in the sea environment. We want to have it playing every day and not to be closed 3 months per year just for maintenance or removing the salt on the equipment. So we have this unique design made for this venue, serving this very expo message. We'll show you a quick video here. it's enough for now. So if you want to see it, you have to go to Yeosu in Korea. So an icon. In fact, we thought big O, so it came very quickly to have something standing, something iconic, and something big. And we can see here that we have 41-meter structure with a 10-meter high podium standing it. And we have inside a 30-meter screen, which is done with water elements. I will come to it later again. So this is, it's like a jewel, like a ring on a support, and is supposed with a gold color. So in the daytime, it looks gorgeous, shiny. Even if with the water, it was not always easy to achieve this. But this is the material elements to which we start with, and this is a result on the right part. And we feel that we achieved what we had in mind in terms of a marvelous object. Of course, we also had to fit many equipment on it. And whether by day or by night, because by night it's going to live, it is a show, but by day it has it has also to be there and to be present and to mean something. So this is what we speak about the good scaling, that we really choose in the environment this element with the axis, with the position, and giving the audience the size. And with the size of the effect, we are reaching a width of about 100 meters to 120 meters, meaning that with the audience located at about 40 to 50 meters, it fills up the entire field of vision, whether vertical or horizontal. And this is helping a lot the idea and the concept of immersion. Content and local flavors. We worked a lot, and this was not always nice talks with our Korean friends, to see it has to be international, but it has to be Korean, but it has to be nice, but no, the face is not like this.
Personally, I want to ask Kenny as the maker, my first daughter. So, yeah, this is Hannah.
So we came to it, and we came with a result which is a good balance between with our vision and our experience, but also the reality of what the Korean people will be liking or not. Many effects, in fact, because we used this vertical structure, which usually it's not done this way. Usually we do shows with water and flames, and all is coming from the ground. And here, for the first time, we decided to put it on an element, on a vertical element. So we use some mist, we use some lasers also from the back, and also on top of the O itself. And we had a great work with video projection, not to mention Christy, because we work with Christy in order to fill this entire cycle of 30 meter high with a very high definition image. And of course, we had some problems, we solved it, and the result is really, for my experience, the biggest or the better water image definition we have ever had. We also had some flames, 15 to 20 meter flames, so we can see how we can expand the size and how we can reinforce the strength of the effect and all the elements. A lot of lighting also, which was another challenge, how to put the lighting, which is supposed to not be an outdoor fixture in a seawater environment, how to put it outdoor, moreover, how to put it under a permanent flow of seawater. We achieved it. although it was not easy in design phase, and still it's easy to use and to maintain. And of course, the use of the water, we can see how we can program and how many patterns we can do with all these elements we have added, and of course all combined together, giving a very strong support for the content and for the story. And the last element we can see here, this is a true picture. This image seems to be projected on a screen, and it is 30 meters high. So this was never done before, even if we have worked with water and images since ages, I would say. We had to develop it specially for this. We had to do some tests. We have about 6 months mock-up in order to achieve this very effect. And we were amazed. The first time we used it, the first time we projected, we were all waiting like children with a new toy and Christmas. And I would say the result was really over our expectations. Not that easy because it's based on a permanent construction. So we had to take into consideration, since design phase, all the anti-seismics, all the wind conditions. We did all the work in 3D to see how the water would feel inside the podium and how it would be working. And in fact, all the work we did also in 3D before, which is almost the first time we go that far, where everything is designed in 3D, the rooms, the conditions, the elements, the effects, so we are sure that everything is fitting perfectly together when it comes to installation. And as a matter of fact, all the construction design and all the assembly was done in such a way that the O itself was put together in only a few weeks after 6 months or 10 months of construction outside of the site. We had a good relation with our friend, and we received certificate of excellence, but it's because they are nice. It's ease of operating and ease of maintenance. We checked. We do all the aspects from the creation to the production and to the installation, so we know what it takes to operate and what it takes to maintain it. And since the beginning, I would say even since the first design in the tender, we included the concept of ease of operation and ease of maintenance, and it was really one of the key elements in the choice. Just very quickly again, to understand the phasing, once we went into contract, this is not the place to speak about this part, it was a bit long, but we have here a quite standard time frame where in fact everything was done in about 16 months time, from scratch to the first viewing of the show. Thank you. Bernie?
We have the last section. This is very important because I would like to mention about a very good relationship at client and our subcontractor or contractor. Anyway, so this creator. Keep going.
Yes, the project was really successful, as you've seen. I learned the unforgettable value this project I had never realized before. So I asserted the key factor of our success is good relationship. Of course, theme had to meet the good story and narrator, but it was not able to be success without collaboration and compromise. There was so many people and companies which were not uncountable within their interests. Fortunately, we are lucky because all the people enjoyed the work like play and understood each other very well. And then we sometimes hang out. It could make the good relationship deeply.
Yes. Yes, deeply, yes.
As a result, the relationship between people, art, technology, and space could make miraculous pleasure for the people. And we could feel people made the miraculous relationship at the happy moment enjoying the Bigo show. These are all of Bigo show, and we declare this is a new agenda in the themed space. If we meet another opportunity in the future, we absolutely will choose this show again. Welcome to Yasu, welcome to Bigo again. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, Andy Garfield again from Lightning in a Bottle. Just curious, it looks really cool. Didn't know much about it, and now I do. It's great. I'm curious, how is the structure and infrastructure being used now? Is it still a show? Is everything still in place? And what happens with it now?
Yeah. In fact, it is going to reopen. I will let Bernie explain more on the post-expo plan. But since the beginning, it was conceived to be permanent and to stand and to stay. So it is staying, it is there. And in fact, 11th of May, we are reopening the Bigo show as a permanent facility.
Yeah, first of all, I want to focus on the condition of Yeosu. The Yeosu is a very poor city. So when I make the master plan at this event, this kind of the expo, our challenge is make the legacy for the future. So anyway, this icon right now, the construction, so bright as every night, and then we will open the next month. So we hope that many people come on site to see this show. The show makes the boom of the economic, the Yeosu.
You speak of relationships and multiple vendors and subcontractors. Was that international parties, multicultural parties, and did the nationality and the cultural difference play a huge part in bringing your entire team together?
Okay, so basically, we are in Korea, the committee is Korean, and they hired ECA2, a French company, to provide with a turnkey project. Although it's a turnkey for the show, it's not a turnkey design and build. We didn't do the construction. The construction was done by Hyundai Engineering. So at the first level already, we had a three-party collaboration between Expo Committee, Hyundai Construction, and ECA2, our French team, and the Korean construction team, and the Korean client. At the second stage, on site, we were bringing, of course, all of our team for the creation, for the programming, for the technical follow-up, for all the installation elements. But we didn't work a lot with foreign suppliers, because for a permanent show, it's better if we couldn't find local suppliers. So we worked with Korean suppliers hired by a French company, other Korean suppliers hired by the Korean Hyundai, and other ones hired directly by the committee. So it was a big, nice melting. It was interesting, and it worked. At the end, it worked.
I have a quick question. I'm in the middle. Fantastic show. Congratulations to everyone on this show. It's really wonderful. We see the visual experience, and I'm sure there's control behind it, but can you talk about how you delivered audio, the audio experience, to what looks like a very widespread audience? And I'm sure that came with a lot of challenges.
Challenge is a bit not enough. It was a nightmare, in fact. we designed a site to be for 2,000 to 3,000 people maximum. We had almost 10,000 people every night. We had people watching the show from the front, watching the show from the side. We have even people watching the show from the back. So
I'm sorry, it was my fault.
So initially, it was very nicely designed because it is audience area with a cover. So we hanged all the loudspeakers under this cover, and all the main audience area was very well treated with sound coming from the top. And then we had the Expo PA system, which became, by force, the secondary sound system, because we had to inject the sound in it, because there were people like 500 meters saying, oh, I'm watching the show, I want to hear. So, okay, so.
Got one over here. That looks fantastic. 10,000 people for a show, that's amazing. You mentioned salt water. Is it all operating with salt water, all the water effects, or is it a mixture?
Everything except the mist. The mist itself has very tiny nozzles, which we send pressurized water inside. And a lot of PSI. But this is done with normal water. But in fact, all the rest, we are pumping. I don't know if you have seen the design of the podium, which is semi-empty. So the seawater is coming inside, and we have a huge structure inside with all the pumps hanged, and the pumps are pumping the water directly into the sea and spreading outside. Anyway, the volume and the quantity of water is such that trying to mix or to bring regular water to be used would be an incredible waste.
Does that give you some special maintenance problems?
Yes, of course. Yes. So first, there is a cost going with it, because everything is stainless steel in the fountain part, and all the metal has to be coated with epoxy painting or epoxy elements. Even the concrete has to be shielded, otherwise it will not work. We have also to put some cathodic protection, because we are in the sea, we have electricity everywhere, so there is a lot of rust coming. And of course, we expect not maybe every year, but every 2 years, the necessity of the painting, of the epoxy painting on the main structural elements.
You mentioned, you mentioned a show, 10,000 people, you planned 2,000. In retrospect, what of the design would you have changed to allow for a show that you weren't expecting? Was there anything that you learned from that?
In fact, we chose an axis vision. It was a choice at the beginning. I don't know if now, knowing this, we would do the same, but at least this was our choice initially. Like, the icon could be seen from everywhere, 360 degrees, but the main axis would be for the people to be seated. The point is, and it's always a balance, and it's always a challenge, how do you put the show for the people to be immersed in it? On a 360 degrees is very nice, it's very impressive, it's very costly also. You don't really feel immersion. So this is why we try to keep an axis and to have the people seated so we can really grab them, feel their field of vision and their ears, so they really feel, oh, we are into the show. And this is really bringing a lot of the experience and increasing a lot the sensation they have.
On top of which, it's always better to have a crowded house than an empty house. We'd like to thank the team from the Big O and ECA too.